Shreveport City Councilman Jerry Bowman is here. Good morning, Mr. Jerry. How are you today?
I'm great, Robert. Good morning. How are you?
Getting younger every day, but that's another story for another time. So you've probably been a very busy man, a very hectic, I was going to say probably 60 days. Let's start with the vote the other evening, and we'll come back to yours a little later. At what point in the day, because bluntly put, we're getting a lot of different answers. At what point in the day did you know that the city council was, at what point did you know that the mayor's proposal was going to be rejected?
Had a great idea, probably a real great idea on maybe a Monday.
Just from the work session, the discussion y'all had?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, from, maybe one-on-one conversations and, yeah, I would say probably one-on-one.
So you guys are like hanging out. You guys are like hanging out in the city council green room with snacks and crackers and fruit, and you're asking each other which way you go. Does that happen with most votes, where you're talking like behind the scenes in like I said, the green room, and you're going, which way are you going to go? And so was there any debate among yourselves that was not public?
No, maybe with one or two. But pretty much you can just feel the energy in the conversation. It's maybe not straight out yay or nay, but you can really feel the energy of which way maybe one will go. In
this instance where you guys are chatting not so much about this, who were the movers and the shakers? Who were the ones that were trying to convince the others in this case?
Honestly, I don't think no one really tried to convince anyone else. It was, of course, we had the three who were definite no's up front, and I think the rest of us were contemplating on the next move, at least to see what was coming next, and then it just went south from there.
Were you a definite yes when this all started? I mean, you voted yes the first time, and it seemed like you were really in support of bringing that big investment to town. Were you on the yes side early on?
In the beginning, yes. Yes.
And you were a no because it was going to fail, right? I mean, it was going down.
Right. Well, at first, I didn't get as many emails or phone calls as the others were. And I would say between that Saturday and mostly Monday, I got a lot in. A whole lot of input from.
So as you got to the home stretch, you were not inundated early on like the other council people, but as voting day neared, that was when your constituents and even people beyond your own district, that was when they started beating on you to go. I would assume to go no, right?
Exactly.
The Times has a report from the Pelicans saying they're not completely giving up on Shreveport. What do you know? What can you tell us about whether or not the Pelicans coming to Shreveport is dead or not?
I don't know. I would hope not. I think that it's great that someone would, want to invest in our city, especially more than possibly we would. Sounds like a great opportunity. It's just at this time right now that the people spoke, the citizens didn't want it.
If a new arena is not in the picture for the Pelicans, what are the other options? Hearst, the Gold Dome? What would you suggest if you were mayor of Shreveport?
Well, first of all, I would say, and I suggested and asked about the Hearst. Number one, the Hearst is in my district, but that was something that they stated that it was not in their plans, that it just wasn't the right fit. That was, to answer your next question or fix it right, Mayor, if I probably would have, first of all, involved the public more than what it was, and I probably would have did schedule some boat tours, which is what I had spoke with a few people about and getting on to a boat tour and taking, citizens down that route and explaining it to them better so they can get a feel of the, the energy of what this would be and where. And like I said, just involve the citizens more early on.
Which brings us to the next question. If it were it was a 5-2 vote early on in the very, let's take a look at this, let's study the bond proposal idea, etc. What do you think happened between 5-2 and 6-0? What do you think the mayor did or did not do? The mayor's people did or did not do that caused it eventually to be a unanimous no vote?
Again, it just if you're gonna if I'm looking to buy a car, you have to really sell me that car, and I mean early on, not just tell me, oh, it's a nice car. Tell me what the amenities. Tell me exactly what's the benefits or the pros of getting this vehicle. And I think that most of the other councilmen were saying that they were not informed enough and formed on time.
So you feel sort of, and a couple of others in the council have hinted at this, that you felt sort of left out of the planning process, the decision-making process?
Right, exactly.
Okay, Jerry, lots of people are speculated about why you left, and you did not vote. You were the one member who did not vote. The alarm was going off. You had to feed the dog. You had to go get a toenail clipped. I don't know.
That was me, by the way.
Why was Jerry Bowman not there for the vote?
I stayed there as long. If you saw, I was late getting there. We had a mandatory meeting at work, and that's documented. And I got there late, and I've never, ever missed a meeting. I never missed a vote, whether that was coming late, leaving early, or just plain missing the meeting. I've never done that. But I had to be at work at 7:30. I have to set the alarm at a certain time, and I explained as best I could. If my one no vote offended anybody, then I apologize. I sincerely apologize for that. But I have never, ever missed a vote or a meeting. But we never had a meeting. I never had a meeting that lasted 7:30, 8 o'clock since my term.
That was my point. If you had known, and evidently you did, you said earlier in the conversation, you knew which way it was going to go. If it was going to come down to a 4-3 and Jerry Bowman's vote might have mattered, you'd have blown off work, right? No. I couldn't have. If I'd have known that we would have been there that long, I mean, you got to think, even at the last, my good friend, Councilman Bradford, when he makes his point, he makes his point. He gave his spiel again. It was a long, speech that he gave.
Yeah.
So literally in a situation like that, pardon me, you're going, look, I got to go to work. I know it's 3-3. I know I'm the last guy. We'll do this next Monday. Is that what would have happened?
No, it would have failed 3-3.
It probably would have. It would have failed.
And there are people who have said he's known this was coming up. He's known this meeting was coming up. Why couldn't he have planned with his work? Look, that evening, you need to give me a break.
Right. I would have. Had I known that this meeting would have lasted that long. I've never had a meeting that lasted that long. Anybody knows I don't bite my tongue. I'm not afraid of a vote. So that was kind of, just one of those things that happened.